Hey everybody, how y'all doing? It is Disneyland's 66th birthday. Might look a little strange because I'm wearing a 65th birthday shirt, but you know what? I got this last year and I didn't really get a chance to wear it, so I am doing that today, celebrating Disneyland on its 66th birthday. Right over here by that flagpole. That's where all the magic was around 4:30 in the afternoon, but it is just the beginning of the day, so here we go! I'm standing behind Golden Horseshoe right now, and what makes this such a fun little place here is Walt and Lillian actually had their wedding anniversary, 30th year. There was a huge celebration happening right over my shoulder. Can you imagine being one of the guests here for that wedding anniversary and getting to see Disneyland before anybody else did? That'd have been so cool to be a guest, to go having a great time over at the Golden Horseshoe Cafe and then waltzing across the way there and hopping on the Mark Twain. That would have been a super cool party. Oh, hi there, how you doing? What's up, guys? All right, bye guys. It's always really cool to say hi to everybody, and you know what, it's just get to know people is super cool. Now it is on to more fun things. We're gonna be checking things out on the 66th anniversary of Disneyland and just looking at all of the changes that have happened since the opening day, along with some of the little fun things, like this tree coming up just around the corner here. It's the Dominguez tree. Let me tell you a little bit more about it up over here. So right up over my shoulder is the Dominguez palm, and this is a really cool tree because Ron Dominguez, who was going to be an employee of Disneyland later on, his grandparents planted this tree on this property back when it was an orange grove back in 1896. Fast forward to 1954, Disney comes up to his family, asked to buy the property, but that was one stipulation that Ron Dominguez's family said, don't move the palm because it was planted as a wedding anniversary all the way back in the late 1800s. So to this day, that palm tree stands. Cool little marker from one of the pre-beginnings, I guess you could say, of the opening day. Also, another thing is we're walking through Adventureland right now. If you notice, there is no background music. One of the things that Walt Disney was all about was letting the music help paint the picture of the land. But in Adventureland, you are the music. Because it's supposed to be a bazaar and it's supposed to be kind of like a very cramped in quarters selling area, that's why this land feels a little bit more cramped, is because just that. It's actually intended to feel that way. And because there's no background music, you're gonna hear the chattering of the noise, like almost like a bazaar where you're trying to sell and buy things. So, little fun fact there as you're walking through Adventureland. All right, now over my shoulder right here is actually coming out of the Adventureland area is the Tiki Room. So the Tiki Room was actually not an original ride, though it kind of feels like it has been because it really just fits in with the whole motif of Adventureland. It was actually built in '63, but the way that it got started was Walt Disney had a little mechanical bird. It still sits in his office today. He was fascinated by the mechanics of this bird. He told his Imagineers, what makes this thing tick and make it work here at Disneyland? And from there, that's how the audio animatronics was formed. And the Tiki Room was that beginning. We were just coming around the hub right here. This is one of Walt's really kind of like thought processes right here. When you would come up Main Street, you would actually come right to this hub right here, and it would branch off into the different lands. And the really cool thing is there would be these things called weenies. Those are the objects that would actually draw you in. So the Frontierland, Fantasyland, Tomorrowland, and right off to the left-hand side, mysteriously hidden by all the jungle forest, is Adventureland. And this was Walt's handiwork right here. This is also what makes the hub so awesome. So that you would come down Main Street, you would split off into the areas that you would want to go into. All right, I'm standing over here by the refreshment corner, and you know, it is a warm day, so I'm going to be getting some water. This made me think, Back in 1955, opening day, it was a hot day. In fact, it's been said that it was about 100 in the shade. That is hot. I think right now it's about in the 80s, and it's a warm, humidish day. But back then, wow, 100 degrees. Story goes that the asphalt wasn't dry and women's shoes were actually sinking into the street. To make matters worse, not only the heat was an issue, but the water was an issue. There was a plumber's strike that was going on around that same time, and Walt had to choose between waters for the toilets or waters for the water fountains. You can imagine what he picked. He picked the waters for the water fountain. Nah, I'm just joking. He picked the water for the toilets, obviously, which means there was no running water in 100 degrees. That's crazy. But you know what? It's just one of those stories for the opening day that made the newspapers say doom and gloom for Disneyland. And what was it, just a few months later, the millionth guest went through the gates of Disneyland, and still people are coming after all these years. And right across the street is the famous window where Walt Disney was paying homage to his father, Ellis Disney. That's what's just really cool about these windows. Not only are they paying tribute to cast members and famous people of those who put together Disneyland, but also at the same time, it's almost as if you could see rolling credits before or after a movie when you're walking down Main Street. And here is Mickey Mouse himself, dressed all up in his celebration outfit. He's looking good.
Join us now as we go back to that memorable day, July 17, 1955.
To all who come to this happy place, welcome. Disneyland is your land. Here we relive fond memories of the past. And here you may savor the challenge and promise of the future. Disneyland is dedicated to the ideals, the dreams, and the hard facts that have created America, with the hope that it will be a source of joy and inspiration to all the world.
And now, let's join together and sing happy birthday to the happiest place on earth. From all of us to all of you, a heartfelt thank you for joining us on the 66th birthday of Disneyland. Have a magical day, everyone.
All right, so right now we're going to be heading over into Star Wars Land, which actually used to be the Big Thunder Ranch, where all the petting zoo was and everything. When that opened, I'm not too sure. I can't say if that was one of the originals, but Big Thunder Mountain was not an original, though the concept and everything was where it was more of, that's where you got to ride the donkeys, which, I mean, come on, back in the day, who wouldn't want to ride an animal here at Disneyland? That would be super cool. And as we walk into Batuu, Galaxy's Edge, I think it's just a testament again to the growth that Disneyland is always changing and always growing no matter what. Sometimes they might have to take something down, sometimes they just might invent something brand new. Similar to what they did here. This is just so cool how Disneyland is always innovative and moving forward. We're gonna go find some Disney pals right now. They say they're in the Haunted Mansion area. We're gonna go see how fast we can find them. It's like a needle in a haystack right now.
California, Dave? Oh my gosh.
Hey, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
We found you. Hi, how you doing?
Good, how are you guys doing?
Doing good, doing good. I'm like, oh man, this is a lot of people. Hey, Dave, how you doing? Good. Yes, yes.
Have you guys heard about the phone?
No, please tell us.
It's going to give you a little tingle, but it's going to be completely normal, okay? Just a little numbing.
All right, so this is the first time I'm getting a fuzzy tom-tom. I've never had this before. This thing is huge. I thought it was a little smaller than this. All right, check this out. So the fuzzy tom-tom, cheers, Winnie. We're just gonna go for it?
Don't inhale.
Don't inhale. All right, we doing this? Okay. So far, so good. It's like a citrusy touch. Oh, there it is. There's a thing. Oh, I'm getting it like on my tongue now.
It's not a numbing feeling. It's more like
It's like a tingling. Yeah.
I can see why you don't want to breathe that in.
No, you do not want that up there.
It's traveling.
Oh, no. Oh, it's like my lips are just like moving around. Like,
Especially when you breathe in through your mouth.
oh, yeah.
Right? It makes it even more like,
Oh, my God.
oh, another one.
Let's get some more. Okay, so literally the foam is like making my mouth and my lips just like weirdly tingle. This is like all I can describe of it. There's like a citrusy taste, and now it's like totally making my lips tingle, my mouth tingle. I've heard word on the street that they say don't breathe it in up your nose because you'll get that same effect up in your nose area, and it's like not good. That is a weird feeling for sure. Wow. Here it is right here. The fuzzy tom-tom. So in order to get through the drink, you have to get through the fuzzy part. All right, so we were walking over here in Fantasyland, and I just had to point this out because this was such an interesting fact. So you got to put yourself back in the mindset of 1955. Nobody had seen a park like this before in their life. And in fact, I mean, if anything, your boardwalks were really the place to go. That's why Walt Disney built Disneyland, because he wanted a place that was going to be clean and for the families. One of the original rides is the Storied Ride. And this is where you can travel on a boat, go see little miniature things of Disneyland, the famous movies and things like that. The word is when guests back in 1955 would travel through Monstro's mouth, they panicked. Can you imagine that this Monstro that so many people go through now and barely just take it for granted, back in 1955, people were terrified going through a whale's mouth. That just goes to show you how much has changed since then. But a fun fact of Disneyland. But let's keep on traveling through because so much has changed since 1955 and so much has stayed the same to a certain degree. Fantasyland right here, where a lot of the rides are still the same. And in fact, we have Jingles right here. Jingles was the main horse here in the carousel because they did not have anything automated. They used Jingles as a way to count 5 times around. In 2005, that horse was dedicated to Julia Andrews, so that's why it has so many little Mary Poppins icons. And of course, we have Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. You gotta read the book, super cool. And of course, we have Snow White. We have Peter Pan's Daring Journey. And of course, my wife loves Peter Pan. It's one of her favorite rides here. And let me tell you guys a fun little hidden Mickey. It's actually right up over this window right over here. Let me scoot you right over here. If you guys go up to this little window, there's a little teddy bear up in there. It's hard to see from the glare, but right on its paw is a hidden Mickey right up there. So go check that out. That's a really cool, fun hidden Mickey right there that not too many people know about. And just check out that sunset. We gotta, boom, take a picture of that right there. And of course, many people know the story of the castle. This is actually the front side of Sleeping Beauty's castle. On production day, one of the Imagineers turned it around, or actually just wanted to turn it around, and felt like it would be better the other way. It kind of got misplaced in that sense. Walt Disney comes in, says, it's good. This is the backside. Keep it like that. And the rest is history, so to speak. So this is actually the front side of the castle originally. Now it's the backside. So another little fun fact that I heard a story talked to by a cast member. Original day had 25,000 tickets for Disneyland. Counterfeit-wise, it almost doubled that up to about 50,000. Well, off to the property line near Tomorrowland, I don't really know the exact part, but let's just say like a Topia area, kind of his reference point. A farmer up over in there leaned a ladder up against the fence, and you gotta figure this is back in 1955, so security was not huge back then. The farmer from the property over leaned a ladder up against there and was charging money for people to go up the ladder and into Disneyland. If you were one of those people, whoa, that's so funny. Hey, how are you? How you doing? Happy day. It's good seeing Disney folk here. So anyways, that is a fun story. And don't you just hate it when people get in front of your videos and they just block all the views?
It is the worst. What is wrong with
I don't know. Look at these people. I mean, right?
Can't go anywhere
Right?
without running into them.
Excuse me, are you that Q's guy?
Yes.
You're like, yeah.
You got me. You totally got me.
Wendy and Peter Tree, yeah.
Okay, like run over here. Like we're Raz and Dave over here, but he's gonna show me the wind. Is it the Windy Tree or the Windy and Peter?
And Wendy and Peter Tree.
Okay.
So it's up here.
Oh, wow. Okay, I did not know about this.
Right there. If you come around over here, you can see how the initials P and then underneath it, WD.
Oh,
and
like
the
when-
arrow pointing to the ride, which is right here.
No way.
In fact, if you stand right here, you can hear the ride through the door.
So far, think so. Whoa! I'm blown away. Okay. Wow. Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
That. Where'd you hear about that?
I heard about it.
I have never heard about that in the many years that I've been coming here.
Yeah.
That is cool.
Yeah.
Dave right over here, Q's Trips. Go follow him. That was cool. I'm mind blown right now.
Yeah, it was fun.
That is a gorgeous castle. And right in the middle of the castle entrance right there, that is the crest of Walt Disney. That's his family crest. So definitely check that out. Don't let that go by. Next time you guys go under the little drawbridge there, check that out. what a day it has been. You got the castle in the background right up behind me here. 66 years of magic. There's been a lot of changes, a lot of new lands being added. And you know what? Rides, doing a little change up here and there. Some being added on, renovated. There is one more place that I have to bring you guys. It's a special place to all of us, but especially to Walt. I'm just gonna be walking down Main Street right here real fast. This was a place that he built for himself because there were so many long hours that he was gonna be in the park. Stories of him where he would be in his bathrobe, walking down Main Street right now, and making himself a nice fresh glass of orange juice, hanging out with the workers as they would build this place in what I believe to be less than a year. And he was able to do all of that and just hang out just like a normal average guy with all of the workers from one cool place. And it is this place right here where before the shutdown, I would always come right in this spot and just say good night to Uncle Walt. But right up in that window right up there, that's where that light is. That light is a beacon of hope, of just creativity and imagination that is still there in the world. Just to remember that Walt is still with us. Got this cool moon right in the background up there. And so this is where I'm gonna leave us. Just kind of imagining Walt just looking out that window, just seeing these crowds after all these years. How cool is that? I'm getting like sentimental right here, but you know what? I mean, when you can just imagine what he was doing on that opening day speech, and just right across the way over here giving that opening day speech and everything. But here with that, we're gonna say, Walt, thank you so much for all the magic after 66 years. Good night, Uncle Walt. And good night to you guys too. Thank you guys for following along. Thank you guys for liking, subscribing, and doing all that YouTube-y stuff. If I didn't see you today, and I know I saw a lot of you guys, so it was great passing items out, 66 items, and spreading kindness. So thank you everybody for supporting on that. Every time you guys like and subscribe, watch the minutes on these videos, it just goes to help generate more ad space and everything, which I get more money from, and then I pass it out to everybody else. I'll see you later at Disneyland.